We are getting closer and closer to the start of NFL free agency, and we're getting more and more players, specifically offensive linemen, being linked to the Chicago Bears every single day. So I got one that I want to talk about with you guys today. So what is going on, y'all? Faiz Sports Style back at it with another video talking some NFL here to talk about the Chicago Bears. So if you are a Bears fan, I would really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button. That is the best way to support me on the channel. Please go ahead and do so and hit the bell icon so you're notified every time I drop a new video. All right, so who is the new sort of player being linked to the Chicago Bears? It is guard Aaron Banks of the San Francisco 49ers. So this is coming directly from Brad Biggs, Chicago Bears reporter for the Tribune, who said in his latest article the following: if the Bears can start the process by adding Dahlman, they could then turn their attention to guard. Trey Smith is not an option, but there are experienced options that ought to fit. The 49ers' Aaron Banks, a second-round pick in 2021, wasn't deemed a great fit for the team's outside zone scheme when he was drafted, but has proved to be more than capable. He was recruited to Notre Dame and coached as a freshman by former Bears offensive line coach Harry Heinstead. Banks made 43 starts over the last 3 seasons for the 49ers at left guard, and the feeling I get is they want to keep him, but he will be priced out for them. Big and strong and stout in relation to his size, 6'5", 325, and moves pretty well, said one scout who has watched Banks closely. He's a guy who has gotten incrementally better each season. Good player, and I think the 49ers would love to keep him. It's not like former 49ers right tackle Mike McGlinchey, who they knew would get overpaid and didn't want to go there, end quote. All right, so a lot to unpack there. Let's start with this, all right? Aaron Banks is a guy that a lot of Bears fans probably haven't heard of. Certainly, he's a guy that has kind of flown under the radar. He's not one of these big-name linemen, but he has been, fairly decent for the 49ers. And to me, I would not mind this at all if the Chicago Bears do decide to pursue him. Clearly, he fits a need. He's going to fit the scheme, hopefully, and he's a guy that, clearly is talented. But there are a couple of things that I want to bring up. Number one, first and foremost, I went to 49ers Twitter just to kind of get a feel for what 49ers fans think about, Aaron Banks. And it was a mixed bag, honestly. There were some people that liked him, some people that didn't. And so availability was also a concern for him, a guy who hasn't, been able to be super healthy and play all of the games every single season. But he's shown flashes and he's decent. So that's kind of what I gathered from reading about Aaron Banks and getting thoughts of the 49ers. Now, taking a look at his stats here, right? So as far as him last season, 775 snaps at left guard. He allowed 1 sack, 5 penalties, 4 quarterback hits, and 25 pressures, okay? And he has allowed a total of 3 sacks and 96 pressures on 1,592 pass blocking opportunities since taking over left guard in 2022. So, again, my point being is I think he would be a solid addition for the Chicago Bears to go ahead and pursue. But here's the problem: the price tag. The price tag is the big issue here because I am seeing his price tag potentially could be upwards of $15 million a season. That's crazy. I mean, I know that in free agency you got to overpay, but sometimes you can't overpay too much. Spot Track has his market value at about $9 million a year, all right, for about $29 million over 3 years. So we're talking $15 million, like it's going to go up that much higher. It's kind of makes me, a little wary overpaying that much. I know you have to overpay, and I've told you, you do overpay in free agency, but it's like, okay, how much more are you going to overpay? And again, if you're overpaying for an elite talent, that's one thing. Aaron Banks is not considered an elite talent. That's the first part of the price tag. And the second part, which kind of goes with the first part, is, wait a second, what's going on with Tevin Jenkins here? Because it seems like they're pretty comparable players, all right? We take a look at the games played for both of these guys. So for Aaron Banks, last 3 seasons, he's played 16 games, 15 games, 13 games. Tevin Jenkins, last 3 seasons, played 13 games, 12 games, 14 games. So again, maybe Jenkins has missed a little bit more time, but it's, fairly comparable. And so I'm basically saying this. I know a lot of people are already out as far as Bears fans I'm talking about on Tevin Jenkins, and we don't want to re-sign him. We don't want him back. But if you are paying $15 million a year for Aaron Banks versus re-signing Tevin Jenkins for, say, $10 million a year, wouldn't you rather have Tevin back? I mean, when he's healthy, he is still productive. The problem is, again, he doesn't stay healthy that much. But it's not like the new guy we would be getting is going to stay healthy or shown to stay healthy for all 17 games the past couple of seasons. So that's my issue here, is I would love to have Aaron Banks, but at the right price. Okay, at the right price. Because if not, I'm not going to that level. I'm pivoting to another guy, Will Fries, Mekhi Becton. I'm going elsewhere. Because to me, at that point, I think you are overpaying a little too much. And then, like I mentioned, Tevin Jenkins at $10 million sounds better to me than Aaron Banks at $15 million. So overall, folks, that's where I'm at with this. Don't mind it at all. He's a good run blocker. I think he would fit Ben Johnson's scheme. They want to run the football next year. They're most likely going to draft a running back. So he's a guy that I think would be solid, but the price tag might be a little too rich for the Chicago Bears. Let me know what you guys think. Would you overpay for Aaron Banks? Leave a comment down below as always. Thanks for watching.